developed as cells, brigades, associations. They're
America's largest anti-abortion rally.
According to the Oxford Dictionary, an abortion is defined as the ending of a pregnancy at an early stage. Spontaneous abortions or miscarriages can occur for a number of reasons, such as disease, trauma, or genetic defects. Induced abortions occur because they fall under 4 general categories: to preserve the life of the mother, to prevent birth as a result of rape or incest, to prevent birth of a child that has a serious genetic deformity, or for social and economical reasons, such as the extreme youth of the mother or sorely strained resources of the family. The history of abortion dates back to the period of ancient civilizations. Many of these civilizations' philosophers argued that abortion should be legal, but only before the quickening, which is when the fetus moves for the first time. Abortion methods in this time were non-surgical and instead included using herbs and physical activities such as paddling, climbing, diving, and weightlifting. In 1971, the first abortion-related case reached the Supreme Court. Known as the Roe v. Wade case, Jane Roe, pen name of the plaintiff, filed a lawsuit against Henry Wade, the district attorney of Dallas County, where she challenged the Texas law making abortion illegal. The case was argued on December 13, 1971, re-argued on October 11, 1972, and decided on January 22, 1973. The decision was a 7-2 in favor of Jane Roe by an all-male Supreme Court panel. Supreme Court Justice Harry Blackmun, who voted for Jane Roe, wrote for a decision in 1973. It will be regarded as one of the worst mistakes in the court's history, or one of its greatest decisions, a turning point. In 2000, the FDA approved mifepristone, the first drug that was able to end an early pregnancy. Mifepristone was used by millions as it was not only effective, but safe. In 2017, 39% of abortions were done with the usage of the drug. The drug became a target. States required there to be doctors to be in the room when the drug would be given, banning the idea of telemedicine abortions. In 2007, the Supreme Court approved a federal ban on dilation and extraction, or also known as partial birth abortion, where the doctor performs a surgery to intentionally remove an intact fetus from the uterus. In 2016, Donald Trump was elected as president. He said that people who had abortions should be punished and promised to appoint Supreme Court justices to automatically overturn Roe. He receives major support from the religious. During his term, he confirmed 3 candidates, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, which gives the conservative side a 6-3 majority. In the same year, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was a moderate liberal, a woman that advocated for gender equality, rights of workers, and the separation of state and church, passed at the age of 87. She was considered the greatest champion of reproductive health and freedom. After her passing, the Trump administration quickly presented her successor, which was Barrett. She assumed her position as an Associate Justice on October 27, 2020, with a Senate vote of 52-48. For most of colonial America, abortion was common. Only during the second half of the 1800s did laws against abortion become widespread. By the 1900s, abortion was illegal in the United States except when the mother's life was in danger. Abortion was once again made legal in the U.S. after the 1973 Supreme Court Roe v. Wade case. However, in the U.S. today, abortion once again faces restrictions across the nation. In the 1960s, a time when abortion was still illegal in the U.S., protests for it to be legal spread across the nation. After the Roe v. Wade case, protests to make it illegal again erupted. Likewise, protests to keep it legal rose in defense. Pro-life supporters, also known as anti-abortionists, were mainly led by religious leaders, specifically U.S. Catholics. They claimed that their movement was grounded in morals and religion. Pro-choice supporters, on the other hand, were mainly led by women in the political sphere. The topic of abortion on Guam differs from the United States. A large percentage of Chamorro individuals have opinions against abortion, as the majority of Guam are Catholic or Christians. These religious parties interpret pregnancy as a time a mother holds a living human and not just a fetus. There are 2 types of people on this island: devoted Catholics and people who were baptized into religion but do not participate in tradition. To add on to this, during the westernization, more options and opinions were open to the Chamorros. The younger generations have become more accustomed to the option of abortion. Our own governor had prioritized obtaining an abortion doctor after the original doctor had to leave.
I do not agree with the arguments for abortion. I think abortion is one of the great evils of our society today. It depends on the type of protests. I'm not really for, I guess, let's say, in-your-face protests, I guess you could say. I think from a Catholic point of view, the vehicle through which we should push our point when it comes to abortion is always through the lens of love. So I've seen a couple where they're actually, I wouldn't say I've seen a couple. I've seen majority of protests, you could say, are silent mostly, with people praying, maybe holding signs, but no slogans or no shouting at people going inside abortion clinics. I see mostly charitable interactions when it comes to those types of protests.
We were told firsthand that when she gets pregnant, it will never be a normal delivery because of her size. She's kind of on the petite side.
Yes.
So we were preparing for that, for a C-section. But so we went through ICU and ICU, and she was hooked up on a lot of devices, and I stayed with her. And oh, by the way, we stayed there for like 16 days straight. So I never saw sunshine in 16 days. I was inside the room with her. And what had happened was on the fifth day, nothing was changing. It was still, she was experiencing dangerous contraction level, which at any point would cause her to give birth, right?
Yes.
So the doctor said, these are options. Fight it through, but we never know if today or tomorrow or the following day. And lo and behold, 16 days later, we were discharged from the hospital. And if I was late in the hospital for just literally, I'm not kidding, if I was late for just 1 minute, I would have lost both of them. Not knowing that, at that time she was already feeling it in the late afternoon, and she called me about an hour or two later. And had I not rushed home and brought her to the hospital, I would have lost both of them because the child was drowning in a pool of blood inside the womb. My wife was already experiencing the toxins coming from the ruptured ovary. So she had a condition prior to her giving birth. The doctor said, you have lumps or cysts on your ovaries, and this might rupture anytime soon, and this would cause you to have a. So her condition is she has cysts, ovarian cysts. I know your mom probably can tell you more about that.
Yes.
It's something that will make her not bear a child or make her pregnancy very complicated. So which is the case. So one of the cysts ruptured, and of course it was internal bleeding, and she thought it was contraction, but it was the toxins from the cyst affecting the child because the child is now drowning in blood. And had I been late for 1 minute, I would have lost both of them. But it's God's plan, and now it's a very healthy, high achiever, fun child, great person.
Abortion is still a difficult subject to openly talk about before, now, and any time in the future because there are two sides of the spectrum. In our current society, many pro-life individuals will still protest their own beliefs, as well as those who are pro-choice. The people's belief on this topic essentially relates back to a person's biological background and religion and society's influences. The answer to whether abortion is right or wrong ultimately relies on a person's own philosophy and conscience.